Hi viewers, in this video we are going to see about the amalgamation. What do you mean by the amalgamation? Amalgamation means union or together. Let us see it with the help of an example here. There are two existing companies. Both the companies are conducting the same kind of the business. Both the companies are liquidated or winded up, and there is a new company which is created. The both companies' asset and liabilities which are transferred to the newly created company. The newly created company which undertakes the business of the two winded up company or these winded up companies, it is called the amalgamation. According to the Indian Company Act 1956 under section 391 to 96, clearly stating that reconstruction of the company and amalgamation of the company. Under section 394, it states about the business of the company during amalgamation. 395, it denotes as about the transfer of the sharing during the amalgamation. 396, it states about the instruct to the government what are the procedures which are necessary for amalgamation of the two government companies. What are the procedures which should be followed to the government for amalgamation of the two government companies? Let us see another interesting phenomena here. Suppose two companies, they want to make an amalgamation by way of mutual consent with the help of a court. So they file a petition before the court. Court has passed an order. What are the important ingredients or the points which should be in the order? The first and foremost, the court has to mention the asset and liability values only. The second one is purchase consideration value. The third one is, suppose some of the person they deny to make amalgamation of these companies, what are all the remedies to them? The fourth one is court has to see, without making amalgamation or liquidation, how these companies should be dissolved or dissolution, and the court proceedings also. Let us see the activities of the amalgamation. Under the activities of amalgamation, we have to see the amalgamation and absorption, external and internal construction. Amalgamation means we have already seen the beginning of this video. Again, I am reminding to you, there are two existing companies which are winded up. Both are conducting the same kind of the business. The asset and liability of these two companies which are transferred to the newly created company, the newly created company which undertakes the business of this winded up company. It is called the amalgamation. What do you mean by the absorption? In the absorption, there is no formation of the new company. A company which is conducting the business in a successful manner or meritorious manner. Suppose another two company, these two company, they are not conducting the business in the successful manner. So they approach to the another company which is conducting the business in successful manner for selling the company. So the purchasing company, this purchasing company means it's conducting the business in successful manner. It purchased the company of these two company. Later, these two companies are winded up. So the asset and liabilities of these two winded up company automatically transferred to the this purchasing company. So here there is no formation of the new company. But in external construction, there is a formation of the new company by the way of new name. A company, entity which is conducting the business, due to the various reasons which are existing in that company, it wants to wind up. So it creates a new company. It coins the new name to the company. So all the shareholder, employers, employees, everything, it should be all the asset and liability which are transferred to the newly existing company. So what it means, it wants to propaganda to the society what the company it was earlier was. Now what is the condition here? It is propaganda to the society, its status. But in the external construction, it is not. It doesn't propaganda to the society. The person, those who are working in the company, the employees only know what are all the changes which are making in the company. Okay, let us understand. Do you understand? Okay, now let us see some of the fundamental terminology which should be known for us to know the meaning of the amalgamation. What do you mean by seller company? What do you mean by the purchasing company, purchase consideration, and equity shareholder, and preference shareholder, book value, agree value? These are all some of the fundamental terminology which should be known by us. Otherwise, it has to, whenever some persons use the terminology, we can't understand the meaning. So first, let you discuss about the transferee company and transferor company. Transferor company means seller company. Transferee company means purchasing company or buying company. Purchase considerer means purchasing company has to pay after accepting the book value of the seller company. What do you mean by the book value? The seller company has to fix the value to its value. The seller company has to fix the value to the asset and liability of seller company. Agree value means the purchase company has to accept the value of the seller company. Equity shareholder means, keep in the mind, whenever a company which is to be started by a person, those person or who has to keep 65% of the shareholder by himself only. He is called the owner of the company indirectly because he is the owner. He started the company. Hence, he keeps the 65% of the shareholder by himself only. Preference shareholder, most probably the owner of the relatives, they are the preference shareholder, because whenever the company gets the benefit is to be given to the first to the dividend. The dividend is to be distributed first to the preference shareholder only. Later only the remaining shareholder, they should get the distributing amount from the benefit. The both preference shareholder and the equity shareholder are called the owner of the company indirectly. Keep in the mind, all the shareholders are considered as a owner of the company. But indirectly, these equity shareholder and preference shareholder, they are called as the owner of the company. Let us see what are all the ways which are existing for transferring the purchase consideration. The first and foremost is lump sum method. Lump sum method means here the seller company's asset and liability which should be validated first. Later, both companies are entered into the contract, and in the contract the purchase consideration should be mentioned properly. So based upon the contract they should be transferred the purchase consideration. The second one is intrinsic method. Intrinsic method means share preparation. The purchasing company has to convey the information about his share. What is the value of his share to the seller company shares? I want to give an example. The purchase company has to say its 5 share which is equal to the 10 shares to the seller company. Understand? It is called the intrinsic worth method. Net sum method. In the net sum method, the net amount which should be transferred from the purchaser company to the seller company. So net asset method, there is some deduction. How they are calculating? The minus of net asset value of purchasing company and net liability value of purchasing company, which is equal to the net asset value. That amount which should be transferred to the seller company. So these are some of the fundamental phenomena which should be familiar for us. So here, what are we discussed here? What do you mean by the amalgamation? And what are all the ways the amalgamation which should be taken? and what the Indian Company Act 1956 it states about the amalgamation. By way of mutual consent, how the amalgamation should be taken, and by way of purchasing consideration transfer, or by way of payment transferring, how the amalgamation will be transferred. Are the fundamental points you have to keep in the mind. Thank you very much for watching my video. Bye.